Today I want to talk about Datrex emergency rations. These are for ocean-going vessels and they're to be stored with lifeboats just in case the ship goes down at sea so that the occupants will have some type of food to sustain themselves. Now I opened this pack last night, but as you can see, it was made November of 2017 and it expires November of 2022. So these have been expired now for a few years. They give you a 5-year life. But like a lot of other similar products, I expect that the 5-year expiration date is not really so much that these things go bad in 5 years. They are individually sealed and then they're vacuum sealed in Mylar. So there's no moisture, no air, nothing can get into them. I think it's more of a date for the packaging because considering the type of environment these are going to be stored in, if these get tossed around, the packaging may get messed up or torn and they'll go bad earlier, not because of a problem with long-term food storage of these things, but a problem with the packaging giving up and contaminants getting inside and spoiling the contents. So we're going to test these. I had bought a pack. I think there were 4 of these packs in it. So I still have 3 left. This is the first one. I figure we'll open it after about 7 years and we'll see what they're like. You can see they're individually wrapped. Doesn't look very appetizing, but it's a thin plastic, but they are sealed. And I believe this is still vacuum sealed. It doesn't look like there's any air at all in there. So even if this main packaging got ripped, it could be the secondary packaging that they're really talking about for the 5-year expiration date, which was right here on the bottom. So we're going to open this up and see what it tastes like. Opening duties is going to be this knife that I'm EDCing for today, and I call this my Canadian EDC. It's got a 3.5-inch blade, 5/32 of an inch thick 01 tool steel with bloodwood handles. The stuff is a little crumbly. There's some powder there in my hands. So you do have to be careful with this. You don't want to break it apart and waste half of it just because of crumbs. So it might be good to eat it over a plate or over a paper towel or a napkin or something like that so that you can keep all of the food even if it does crumble. These are 200 calories a piece. Look here on the package, 200 calories a piece. 3 grams of protein, 26 grams of carbohydrates, it's sodium, 9 grams of fats, some other miscellaneous things. So they're not the most nutritious things in the world, but they will give you energy and they will keep you alive. They will fill your stomach. With the 3 packs that I have left, if this is good enough, I'm going to put them in my car in a bag, which I'll go over in the future. I plan to, every year or 2, open up another pack and go through it and compare how the product is. All right, let's give this a taste test. I'm not sure how good you can see me. Of course, I'm at my garage, and you can see there's my grinder. I've got the luxury of a cup of coffee, and we're going to give this a taste. These things are no different from when they were brand new. They're not bad. They do taste good. It's not something that you would want to eat for a dessert every day, but they do taste good. It's palatable, and it's definitely something that you can manage and that you won't be more grossed out by eating it, and you'd rather go hungry. And that's kind of what I have in mind when I think about this type of product, something that you have to force down. It's not. It's actually tasty. Um, it's crumbly. It's dry. But it's very interesting. Most things that are crumbly and dry make you very thirsty. These do not. Being lifeboat rations, that's a good thing because you don't want to eat something that's going to be making you thirsty and run out of water, or if you don't have any water. Although you do have to be careful. If you have no water, you can't properly digest stuff. So if you don't have water, it's probably going to be a good idea to really limit, to severely limit what you take in. Really not bad. I could sit down in the morning and have maybe two of these with a cup of coffee for breakfast and be perfectly happy. It's probably how I'll use the rest of the pack. Hmm. Now, there are other companies that make similar products, but I can only speak for Datrex because that's the one that I've tested. I do recommend these, and like I said, I'm going to put this in a get home bag that I put in the car. I know a lot of people do Mountain House meals, ramen noodles, and I'll probably throw a little bit of that in too. But the idea here is if you just want to get home, you may not want to stop and make a fire or have to break out a stove and bring something to a boil. You may not want to give away your location, and these are perfect. So in summary, these Datrex tasted pretty good. They went down easy. I had no problem eating them. You don't want a product that you're going to have to gag and force down. You want something that actually tastes good, is palatable, and you can very easily deal with. So these, along with a couple Mountain House or some other type of freeze-dry meal or ramen, something of that nature, probably some coffee and some hot chocolate, a variety of things so that you're prepared for hot weather and cold weather. I would much rather have one of these in the summer than make a hot meal if I was stuck someplace for a period of time. Now, these can also be useful while you're driving. If you just get hungry and you don't want to take the time or spend the money to pull over and find a place to eat, you can just grab a couple of these bars and a bottle of water, and you're good until you get where you're going. So, like I said, try these out. I'm only familiar with these Datrex. There are some other competing products that may be just as good, but try it out and find one that works for you. Find one that you can consume and it tastes good and you don't have to struggle eating. Now, these are going to go in my bag that goes in the vehicle, and pretty soon I'll show you what's in that kit. That's going to be it for this one. We'll see you next time.